Okay, we're on.
All right, meeting will come to order. This is the Board of Directors monthly workshop. No, I'm sorry, meeting, that's right. Just testing. Just testing. Okay, confirmation of proper notice, please.
Notice was posted according to statutory requirements on the 11th of October.
It was, wasn't it? Can I have roll call, please? And for the record, we have with us Marty Kaufman. She's on the phone. Everybody say, hey, Marty.
Hey, Marty. Nancy Arnold.
Marty, you still there?
Yep.
Okay.
All right. Dick O'Dowd. Here. Leslie Jacobs. Here. I'm here. Steve.
Here. Here.
Dick Picola.
Here.
Jim Munson.
Yep.
Marty Kaufman.
Here. Who's here?
Monica Heigl.
Here.
Tammy Alborn.
Here.
Chris Perry.
Here.
Debbie Dial.
Here.
John Humphreys. No. Sue Downs.
Here.
John West.
You know, I hate it when you send it. Treasurer goes on these trips.
How's he funding?
That's the question. All right, ladies and gentlemen of the board, I'd like to welcome everybody here. I'm sure you're all aware of what had happened up at the Panhandle of Georgia and the Mid-Atlantic states. I do know that this week at Mission Barbecue, there is a fundraiser going on. They're panhandling for the Panhandle. Okay, so get a chance to stop by Mission Barbecue up there. They got some trucks that they're making available for donations to go up there. Okay, it's one of our local radio stations that are
John, I don't think the mic's working. Jim,
John's the older.
Jim, I don't think the mic's working.
Mic's not working?
Nope.
What else?
You got to get closer then.
Like getting any closer, I'll be inside it. All right, let's see. How's that, Roger? Okay?
Much better.
You know what? Hold on. Hold on. How's that?
Good.
All this was supposed to be tested before the meeting. All right, ladies and gentlemen of the board, you did receive in your packets, I know, over the weekend, 2 sets of minutes. One set of minutes was for the last Board of Directors meeting. The other set was for the special board meeting that was held with the issue of the waiver. At this time, the chair will entertain a motion to accept first the board minutes of the previous board meeting. Motion made by Dick O'Dowd. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Second by Debbie. Question on the motion? Any question on the motion? All in favor signify by raising their hand. All opposed, same sign. Motion carried. The next set of minutes is on the special board meeting. This time the chair will entertain a motion to accept those minutes. Do I hear a motion? That's on the second week. Special board meeting.
Somebody just, Debbie.
Debbie, did you? Okay, go a second. I'll second. Second by Sue Downs. Okay, discussion on the motion? Discussion on the motion. All in favor signify by raising their hand. All opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Now we're going to have a treasurer's report if we ever find where we went to. But John, you got anything on it?
Well, there is a sufficient amount of funds missing. No. No, you know where John is. He's on a cruise. On a bargain cruise. Anyway, as of the 30th of September, in the operating account is $717,006.84. Our reserve is $380,853.93 for a total of $1,097,860.77. Along with the other assets, total assets as of September 30th is $1,274,799.48, and that's versus the liabilities, which basically are prepaid assessments, and those are assessments that are brought in for the October quarter that are received before September 30th. So that's the majority of it there at $200,467.98. Our reserve fund is previously issued is $380,853.93. So the assets and liabilities at the end of September balance at $1,274,799.48. Any questions on the balance sheet? If not, please go to the second page. The second page is our budget report card, if you will. And it shows that on the very top line that we're blessed with heavy income. We're blessed with $56,488 over budget for income. However, unfortunately, somewhat of about $36,000 of that is for the monies for the fire that happened in Unit 120. As those repairs progress, that figure will obviously go down. We're up to about $38,000, something of that nature, with a $2,500 deductible. Administrative expenses are running under budget as anticipated through bad debt and insurance savings. Grounds somewhat over budget, but due to early expenses in the year where we were still cleaning up from last year's Emily. Irma. I guess it's yeah.
Just making sure you're awake.
It is Irma, you're right. Irma, Emily was 2 years. Buildings over due to the structural repairs, security under budget, pool and tennis under budget, and utilities slightly over budget due to water and sewer increases. So for the year, bottom line is that we're under budget by about $4,800. Money spent from the reserve account this year, $700,791.51, and our surplus as of this time is approximately $217,000. Any questions?
Any questions so far? Go ahead, Monica.
Water and sewer increases, are they normal increases by the county or?
Yeah, exactly what they are. It's not overusage. We're running right in there. We had to anticipate, when we did this budget, we had to anticipate their increase because it wasn't out yet. And once it came out, we knew we were going to be a little bit under, and so that's why it is.
Okay.
And so we put it into next year's budget. We should be all right. But the bottom line is it balances out.
Keep on going, John.
That's it, okay. That takes care of the financial statement. The next thing, we move into units with legal issues. The big issue here, we have now really 3 units. Unit 457, the owners declared bankruptcy. They had a bankruptcy hearing, and the judge decided to continue it until November. The possible plan is proposed, and I don't see how they can do this, but you know, we don't have a choice in the matter. They're indicating that the owner will be able to pay off the $7,900 debt at $205 a month. That will only take about 30 years or something like that, and it'll be quite a while anyway. And of course, I hope the stipulation will be that the current fees are paid at the same time. And if that is the case, then of course it will be all right. And if the owner slips, then we can complain and they can withdraw the bankruptcy protection.
Okay.
Number 2, 162. We've had constant contact with the lady whose mother used to own the unit, and she keeps saying she's going to send in a check, but she hasn't. So the attorney's note will file a lien by October 1.
Okay. November 1.
I'm sorry, November 1.
Okay.
And finally, the other unit 550 it's a very serious snafu. I feel bad for the lady in the unit. This is the unit where she's allowed to live for the rest of her life. But since the attorney passed away that was handling the trust, it's such a snafu that we're unable to get paid. And once it gets to be 2 quarters, it's incumbent upon us to chase our money, no matter who, what, the why the situation is. So the attorney has pursued it, and we may be in the process of leaning that building, which I think we should.
Okay.
That's it on legal.
John, can we go back to financial summary? I think Dick's got a question.
Yeah, sure.
Wait, the bottom line item in total shows $4,800 in excess. And I think we reported it as under budget.
The variance, John.
It shows, yeah, it's no big deal, but it shows $4,806 over budget and the total, and we reported it a minute ago as under budget. I'm just curious.
They're correct, it's $4,800 over budget.
No big deal.
Yeah, okay, no, I
It needs to be
misspoke.
corrected.
Thank you, I misspoke, thank you.
All right.
Sure.
All business. Anybody have any questions on municipal legal issues so far? Okay. Let's get into the stack pipe project. Hopefully this will be a light at the end of the tunnel, I think.
Yeah, I would sincerely hope so with you. Currently finished now are here it goes. All units in Springdale, Sherwood, Palm Tree, Lakeside, Woodlawn, Oak are complete, along with all of Cluster B in Pinehurst. That means 144 units of the 158 are complete. That leaves us 14 more to do. We're actually in the process of finishing 2 this week, so we're even a little less. We've expended year-to-date on the project, or time-to-date since we started, $403,451.72. Money spent out of the reserves since January 1, 2017, $350,491.93. The project, hopefully, we're trying to get it done by the end of the year. However, there are, as I said, 14 to go, and we don't want to push it into the Christmas season for those who start decorating. So we're very close. We may end up with 2 or 3 carrying over. And I know we have Thanksgiving week coming up, and people don't like to have their places turn up during Thanksgiving. So that'll be the only delay.
Okay. Sure, go ahead.
What about the ones that will be gone, will not be here yet during the holidays? Can we still do theirs?
If we have the opportunity, yes. We call and we talk to them, and we'll work with them. Some of them say, oh, thank God you're doing it while I'm not here. Others say, I don't want you doing it while I'm not here. So, but we're working with them.
Any other questions? Flood insurance purchase status?
Okay.
In the package, you have letters that we sent by our attorney.
Primarily for your review, we have moved on to the fact that we, in the office, have a list of all the mortgage holders that we could find through going through the county's records. We've now also talked to the attorney who said that we have to send a survey out to each owner and have them answer it. We have an amendment to propose once we get the answers back. And we also have a letter to the banks to get their approval for us to remove this. So it's an intricate process, but everything's in place to start probably just after the first of the year.
All right. Go ahead, Dick. Nicole.
I have 2 questions, I think, John. 2 units, 457 is in bankruptcy, and 550 is that one with that problem. How will that be handled as far as getting responses back if we don't hear from those people?
What we're going to do is we're going to give a time certain out. If it's not time certain, we're going to say you must agree. So if they don't send anything back, okay, you're out. It'll be a positive.
Now, the second question I have is, when this goes to a vote, the amendment, is it a simple majority, or does it have to be 60%?
60%, just like any other declaration article.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Deb, go ahead, Deb.
What zone are we in? Are we in X?
X, we're in zone X, yes, 24.6.
I didn't hear it, I'm sorry.
You want to know what zone X, or what zone we were in flood?
Oh, what is the X zone? which is, the X zone is the zone where mortgagees cannot require mortgage holders to buy insurance, flood insurance, okay? That doesn't mean you necessarily wouldn't have some sort of flood, i.e. captured water through fences and things of that nature. But we are well out of the flood requirement level, which is 14 feet. Well above it, we're all at 24 plus feet. Mount Manatee.
John, can we have the status on 120, please? Restoration is going on over there.
Yes, 120 has had several, as you've noticed in the past reports. The first insurance allotment was $22,000, and then we had a $28,000 best bid at $28,000. The insurance company finally came up with $28,000, and then they found asbestos, and that was another $12,000, and we had to wait to get that approval, and the insurance companies approved that. And then they tried to reglaze the glass sliders in the back and found they couldn't do that. So that was another $2,800. We had to wait for the insurance company to okay. We have now received $39,000 plus. There's at least $22,000 to $25,000 of the work is accomplished, and we're going to start releasing some money for the repair people. But there's still, I'm holding the rest of it. Number one, the doors haven't been finished. Number two, there's some points between the owner decided to have another company beside our company do the refurbishing, so there's some points that we have to mesh to make sure he gets what he wants and we get what we want for the price that everybody's proposed. So it'll be ongoing for another month or two easily.
Okay. Any questions on 120? Let's move over to the cable contract renewal. I can tell you this, tomorrow, 2 o'clock, Doug Kelly is going to be a guest at the cluster advisors meeting, and they're going to be explaining on what is going to go on with the new contract. Basically, for you folks that will be there and will see your cluster advisor, on November 1st, we sent the letter. The association sent out a letter to all the owners. On November 1st, it behooves you to call Spectrum, let them know who you are, your account number or your phone number, and get everything straightened out. Okay? We're having some issues, and we're trying to get these issues resolved before November 1st. And it seems to be working fairly good. I'm going to knock wood for now. So far, I think, John, we kept Murphy out of the picture so far.
So far, he's out. We'll find out more tomorrow.
Yeah. One thing we did do today, John and I were on a conference call on the business aspect of it, and we were able to secure a reduction in our security cameras' IP addresses and utilizing the web, which reduced our cost by $2,500 for the year. So, yeah, they worked with us on that, and we got that deal ironed out. So, they're working on it. Tomorrow, 2 o'clock at the office is the cluster advisors. They'll be there. Doug Kelly will be there. And I believe Mark is going to be available by phone, is he?
Mark's going to be available by phone, and I think that anybody who has interest should come.
Yeah.
Because, we don't have advisors in every cluster.
Who's short in?
A, I know, has dropped out, and G is so 2 has dropped out. But all I'm saying is, to me, more the merrier, that they understand it, can help explain it to their friends.
Yeah.
So if you get time tomorrow, try to come in.
We'll try to tape that.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Video that.
That's a good idea. That's a good idea, Chris. Get that information out there. All right. No other questions on that? We'll move right along to the presentation of the 2019 budget. Ladies and gentlemen of the board, I do know you have your homework assignment set up for this weekend by reviewing the board. Today is the day that we vote to send it out to the owners. Do we have any? Where's Tom? Where are you, Tom? Hey, Tom, stand up, please. Tom Penn. chaired the budget committee for us, and where's the other members of your committee?
Sue's over there.
Sue's here.
Oh, yeah, Roger.
There's Roger. Where'd he go? Did he escape?
Marvin's here.
Marvin, where's Marvin?
Marvin, that's right. I didn't see
Marvin, wake up, Marvin. There he is. Marvin, you all guys did a great job on your budget.
I'd like that.
What's your
Oh, Leslie, that's right, Leslie, sorry.
Just a pretty face.
Do I have any questions from the board on the budget? Go ahead, Dick.
Looking over, I wondered, last year Sue worked out something on insurance. And when I looked over insurance, I didn't see much of an increase for workers' comp and all that area. I wondered if that work that Sue did last year is going to carry over again for our employees' insurance.
You know, I can tell you, I really don't know. We'll have to, that doesn't open up until the 16th of next month. So depending, I remember those policies change every year. We're definitely going to need to like this one. Here, we got this. I can't tell you exactly. Remember, open enrollment for under 65 doesn't start until in November. So as soon as those new plans come out, John, you should be receiving letters saying that their premium has increased or something has happened to it. When you get those and when the new plans come out, we will definitely go back to the blackboard and see what we can figure out.
He's under 65?
No.
That could affect the budget ultimately.
It could. I mean, you never know.
Our workers' comp is separate from that.
Well, I took workers' comp, but I meant the employees' insurance.
Yeah.
Health insurance.
But we did receive a lowering in our rate because our third straight year without a major problem, and I bet it's quiet right now.
Okay, any further questions from the board on the budget? At this time, I will entertain a motion to send the budget to the owners. By anyone on the board.
I so move.
Motion made by Pam Flanagan, seconded by Debbie Dow. Discussion on the motion. Discussion on the motion. That was Pam Flanagan made the motion, Debbie seconded. All in favor signify by raising your hands. All opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Hold on a second. Marty!
Yes.
How you doing?
Anyway,
All right.
my name is Chris.
Okay, Jack.
Does everybody understand the total of the budget now when you've seen the packages? Okay.
Chris, you're up. Did you give us something on the
Yes,
website conversion?
we are still waiting for the.
Hold on, Chris, use the mic, please, Chris. You don't want-
Mine, never mind.
I'll turn mine off, yours is on.
Okay. We're waiting for the domain transfer yet. I submitted the request 4 weeks ago. And the our current web host, which is called Front Steps, has sort of drug their feet. But we are hoping to get that accomplished in probably about the next 10 days. So that then, once we get the domain transferred, then we can go live with the new website, and we'll be sure and send out emails to everybody that has an email address with us about the new site. And we'll also post some things on the bulletin board so that those people that don't have an email address can register. But you will need, unfortunately, to get on the new site, most people are going to need an email address. If you don't have one, we can make some arrangements, but we'll probably have to do that manually. So it's one of those things that it's becoming part of modern life. Email addresses are pretty important for most of us.
Thanks, Chris. Any questions on the conversion of the website? Next item, the Fall Fest, November 10th. Debbie promises to stay sober while she's driving the golf cart to pick people up. Yeah, well, you did the last time we were at the bar. You just hung under the bus and you said, "I'll be sober."
Oh, I just thought I forgot that.
But it is November 10th, 3 o'clock, 3 to 6. Be there, be square. We're having a lot of fun. Day before Veterans Day. Okay? Look forward to Leslie Jacobs' frozen grapes.
That's right.
Good.
Frozen daiquiris.
Grapes. All right, next item, this is going to be the last time you'll see it on the
Sure.
agenda, yes, 708 issue that has been resolved, the letter sent through by the lawyer, so it's out of our hands at this point, nothing more to say on that. New business, communications. What do you got there, John?
No communications this month.
All right, next item, managers report. What do you got there, John?
Okay, primarily just one item is that we have now installed the LED garage lights in 2 more villages. So that means that Pinehurst, Sherwood, Springdale, and Palm Tree now have the new LED lights. Since we put the lights in earlier this year in the, excuse me, Sherwood and Springdale, we've had no light replacements, no service calls, no anything. And I've been looking at the bills. They're not much cheaper, but they're about $1.50, $2 cheaper per month. So it's been worth the investment, and people are happy because aesthetically they look much nicer.
Don't you have something else you want to do? Let's do the manager's report at this time.
I do.
Okay, something about the generator, you know what I'm talking about?
Oh, yeah. Thank you very much. As you know, a very, very serious donation was given to the association. The amount of $10,000 to fund the installation of a generator for emergency purposes. We were able to purchase the generator, have it installed, and one of the issues was we didn't feel that we have enough money left over to run the gas lines because they wanted $1,000 to set the meter. And it turns out that we kind of twisted our electrician's arm, and he came down a little bit in his price. And we have some money left over now of about $1,300, which I feel we'll be able to take care of that. So I'd like to move forward with the gas lines, get them in, and then the project will be done, all funded through the generosity of one of our owners.
All right. I don't think we need a motion on that, because we got the funding is there.
Yeah.
So we're gonna get this thing done, they say a hell of I water. But it's gonna get done, and we're gonna get with Kiko this week, right?
Yeah.
Get them down there and get the gas line installed. So we'll be all set, ready to go. All right, next item. Committee reports. Peter, where are you? I'm gonna give, yeah, I told you I'd pick on you first thing. Pete, welcome back, Pete.
Back
I hope
after
Ross
the
didn't lose
summer, and thanks to West and John and Jeff and the crew, never lost a step. Place looks great. I'm glad to get back at it again. All the new plantings all took. We didn't lose a plant, which is a testimonial to the crew. These guys work hard, come to work every day, and after being associated with them, I realized they take a lot of pride in their work too. They're a rare bunch nowadays. And any problems, requests, anything at all, call Catherine. She'll take it. I'm over there every morning, and I'll pick up the call. I'll either get to you the same day or the next day to resolve any questions or problems. So I'm glad to be back. Get at it.
All right, thanks, Peter. Tom, you got anything you want to add onto the budget? Anything?
No.
Okay. Chris, you got anything you want to add? No. Miss Tammy, I know you're just chomping at the bit about the yard sale coming up. I think you want to start planting the seed on that?
Yes, we've had, last year at this time, we put a proposal through to, oops.
Yeah, she's got a soft voice.
Last year at this time, there was many people who wanted to have a garage sale, so we put through the garage sale. So again, this year, we're proposing to do it again in February. And so it's just a matter of being okayed and maybe making it an annual thing. I will continue to take care of it since I can now do it. So it all depends on if it's been approved, and then we go forward.
We can settle that right now.
Thank you.
Chair will entertain a motion to move ahead. Motion made, do I hear a second? Second. Discussion on the motion. Discussion on the motion. All in favor, signify by raising their hand. All opposed, same sign. Bob had his hand up, doesn't count. 10, you got the ball, kiddo. You run this week.
Just a quick question, will this be in-house again or open to the public?
No,
Like,
this is gonna be in.
Great.
Well, there's the chairperson right there.
good.
It will be open only to in-house. However, if you have friends with money, you're welcome. So I will send out information. I will put information on bulletin boards. It will be in February again, like last year.
Cool, thanks, Tam.
Thank you.
All right, any other committees that I've missed? No?
Right here.
Oh, okay, Dick, 43rd Street.
Yep.
Bad.
Can you hear me okay? Well, I volunteered to chair this committee because I heard several months ago that the county is planning on expanding and renovating 43rd Street. And whatever they do, it's going to really affect all of our properties that abut 43rd Street. And so what I wanted to do is inform our board and the owners so we can prepare for the eventual widening of the street itself. That's what the first thing they're going to do. It's going to be on the west border of our territory, of course. And they're also going to plan, and there are no definite plans at this point in time, but they want to add bicycle lanes, and they want to add sidewalks, and improve the lighting. So it's going to be, a big deal when it happens. The good news is that it ain't going to happen for at least 5 years. That gives us time as owners of property here in Wildwood Springs to make sure that we've made adequate preparations for this widening. And one of the things that's really needed, and I called this to the attention of the office and the board previously, and I don't know if there's been any action planned yet on it, but I was told that we need to get a current survey and make sure that the surveyor puts stakes in the ground to visually know the official boundaries, blah, blah, blah. Now, we need that survey, but there's no immediate urgency like it has to be done tomorrow morning or else. But we need the survey, and we need to make preparations as soon as we can for any kind of a berm we want to consider between us and the widening of 43rd Street. We have plenty of time for that. I talked to the chairman of the expansion committee for the county again this morning, who says they still haven't made up their minds exactly what they're going to do, and they will not know for maybe another month, 2 months, whatever, So we're kind of in the dark here, but the expansion will happen. There's no question about that. I'm just saying that it's going to be at least 5 years so we can make our plans. Other than that, I don't have anything else to report to you. I'd be happy to answer any questions, but that's all I have at this point.
Okay, thanks, Dick. Dick, turn it over.
I did. Thought I didn't.
John?
I think we're all right on the survey unless they said there's a time certain on it, because we had one when we checked out the fence that was going to be installed about 4 or 5 years ago, and we were able to find all of the original markings.
Yeah.
So maybe be able to save some money there.
Okay. Hold on a second, I'll be right with you. Director's comments. Marty?
Yes, I would like to bring up this time we do our little charity thing for the Feeding Indians Coming, and they're in desperate need of food. Last year, they had 160 children at the start of the year. This year, last Wednesday, they filled 550 backpacks. So need of the single serving foods. There will be a list on the bulletin board. And if you want to participate, you can take it to the office, and Sister Mary Ann will pick it up and see that the health people receive it. And also, I would like to ask that maybe the 50-50 drawing this year, that money could go to the feeding empty those tummies.
I don't think that's an impossible thing to do at all, Marty, and I'm sure we could probably have another collection jar there at the Fall Festival on top of that, too. Would that help you?
That would be appreciated.
Okay, Marty, thank you.
All right, thank you.
Go ahead, Pam.
The question was could Chris get this information if our newsletter works eventually? Sure. Our website, so that people know that's another way to advertise it?
Yep.
Okay. What charity is that?
It's Feeding Little Tummies.
Oh, okay.
Empty little tummies.
Yeah, I know that.
Felt.
And while we're on it, I'll make this my comment. I was going to say that 50-50 raffle, I happen to know that Hope is packed. The Hope, they rescue abused women and their children, and they are overbooked right now. So maybe an extra jar for Feeding Little Tummies, but Hope does still need our 50-50, and we will be doing something for them for Christmas again. So.
I could see us holding actually two 50-50s and two out-of-pocket jars for folks that want to contribute, either for Hope or for Feeding Empty Little Tummies. I happen to know that this community is a generous community, that's for sure. Okay. All right, director's comments. I'm going to go left to right this time. Chris, Duncan, Tammy, you good? Dad, you sober? Dave, Pam, I'm good. Joe? Good. Monica? Leslie, you're good? All right, owners, yes sir, you have your hand up.
I had a question.
Who are you first of all?
I'm Manny Fonseca from 565 Lakeside Drive.
Hi Manny, how are you?
Good. I have a question on 43rd Street. Are there any plans to muffle any of the excessive traffic that we're going to receive from widening that?
We don't know yet, man. We don't know
They're
yet.
gonna add a third lane, I can tell you that.
The question was, is they're going to have sound barriers? Is that what you're talking about?
Sound barriers or more foliage, whatever, back there. Because we already hear it at pool number 5. But the rest of the property, we're going to get a lot more traffic here.
I'm sure that's going to be part of it when they open it up to the public or invitation for the public meetings and demands. Any other owners' comments? Judge?
With the...
Who are you? Tell everybody else.
I'm George Fisher,
George Fisher.
451 Palm Tree. With the new bulk agreement with Spectrum, it says that the included in the bulk is Wi-Fi. Now, is this going to be bulk Wi-Fi?
No, it's in your home board.
Everybody has their own
Yes.
log on.
Right.
Okay, it's not like going to a Holiday Inn.
No.
Okay.
It's not,
All right.
It's not a public meeting.
No, because it says included in the bulk is Wi-Fi. I don't want bulk Wi-Fi.
No. Any other questions? All right, next meeting is going to be held at the office for the board workshop. That's going to take place on November 13th at 10 o'clock in the office. And the next board meeting will be held November 19th right here at the church. And at this time, a motion to adjourn is always in order. Motion made. Motion adjourned. Be safe, be well, folks. We'll see you in the fall.